So it's 2026 and we're talking about the iPhone 16. I know the iPhone 17 just came out a few months ago with all its shiny new upgrades, but I think looking back at the 16 right now is actually really important, especially if you're like sitting on an older device, maybe an iPhone 13 or 14, and you're confused about whether to save some cash on this or just jump straight to the 17. In this video, I want to give you guys a really honest, long-term review of the iPhone 16. We're going to cover everything: design, performance, that controversial 60Hz display, battery life, and of course the software experience with iOS 26. Plus, I'll tell you why this phone frankly puts me in a bit of a weird spot when it comes to recommending it today. You know, when this phone first dropped back in 2024, the conversation was kind of all over the place. People were hyped about the new colors and that camera control button, but there was also a lot of noise about what it didn't have. Fast forward to 2026, and holding it now, it's still a really beautiful piece of hardware. Mine is in this pink finish, and honestly, it looks great. It's got that color-infused glass back that feels super premium. But the context has changed. With the iPhone 17 now on shelves, the 16 isn't just the new iPhone anymore, it's the budget option. So does it hold up? Just to give you guys some context on my specific unit here, I picked this up in May 2025, so I've had it for about 8 months. It's actually not my main daily driver. I use it as a review unit and also as a backup phone for like everything when my main phone is charging, social media, gaming, emails, from basic stuff to pretty heavy loads. Because of that usage, my battery health is actually still sitting at a solid 100% with only 113 cycle counts. That's pretty new, honestly. But even with that backup phone status, I pushed this thing hard. I've been gaming on it. Everything from casual stuff to high-end AAA titles like Assassin's Creed Mirage. And yeah, we'll talk about the heat in a minute. Okay, before we talk about the screen, I have to talk about the design because honestly, Apple nailed the vibe with this one. Mine is the pink model and it features this color-infused back glass that just looks incredibly rich. Do you guys remember when this launched? The ultramarine blue and this pink one went absolutely viral. It was everywhere on TikTok and YouTube because it was just so vibrant. It didn't look washed out like some previous years. It just pops. They also brought the action button to the base model here. It replaced the old mute switch, and while it's a small change, having that customizable button for things like focus modes or the flashlight is super handy. Then there's the camera control button on the side. This was the big new feature everyone talked about. It's cool technology, don't get me wrong, but if I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't use it that much. For me, it's just a nice to have. I usually just tap the screen to take photos like I always have. It hasn't really changed my life, but it's there if you want it. Now, let's move to the display. This is the 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED. Look, the panel quality itself, it's fantastic. Colors are punchy, brightness is great outdoors. It hits that 2000 nits peak, but we have to address the refresh rate. It's still 60 Hz. Now that the iPhone 17 finally brought ProMotion, that 120 Hz refresh rate to the regular model, going back to 60 Hz on the 16 is noticeable. But I will say this, with the new animations in iOS 26, it feels surprisingly fluid. Like Apple really optimized the masking and the swipe physics. It doesn't feel laggy, it just lacks that ultra smoothness. If you've never used a Pro phone, you might be fine. But if you're coming from anything 120 Hz, this is gonna feel like a downgrade. Under the hood, we're rocking the A18 chip with 8GB of RAM. And guys, purely on numbers, this thing is still a beast. I actually ran some fresh benchmarks on iOS 26 just for this video. On Geekbench 6, I got a 3154 single core and 7875 multi-core. For the graphics, the Metal GPU score came in at 28,043. What does that mean in the real world? My day-to-day is pretty good, apps open quickly, swiping between them is smooth, and I really want to emphasize the RAM here because this has 8GB of RAM. Multitasking is actually great. You know, when I re-review older iPhones with 4 or 6GB, apps are constantly reloading in the background. It's annoying, but on the 16, they stay open. Gaming-wise, playing AAA titles like Assassin's Creed Mirage, it plays pretty good. But being honest, I do get some frame drops sometimes. And the phone definitely gets warm during long sessions. It's not burning up, but you feel it. Speaking of warmth, let's talk about iOS 26. It released a few months ago, and I really appreciate the upgrade Apple made here. The design feels fresh, like looking at iOS 18 now, it feels old. There's this new liquid glass vibe to the animations that I just love. However, I did notice something. When I first updated, the phone ran warm for a few days. I think it was just re-indexing system files and my personal data to settle in. It's normal, but just something to note. Now, regarding the battery, I've noticed some real improvement since I turned on the adaptive power feature in the settings on iOS 26. It seems to manage the background drain a lot better than before. So far, the experience has been so good. For casual use, just scrolling social media, texting, listening to music, it is easily an all-day phone. You don't even have to think about it. But I have to be real with you guys. If I start pushing it hard, like playing heavy games or shooting 4K video for a while, it can get pretty low by the evening. It's not infinite. So if you're a power user, you might be looking for a charger around dinner time. But for everyone else, it's solid. Cameras, you've got that 48 megapixel fusion camera and the 12 megapixel ultra wide. For a point and shoot experience, it's reliable. The 24 megapixel default photos look sharp. But again, comparing it to the new 17, the 16 is showing its age slightly. The 17 just launched with that new 48 megapixel ultra wide and the 18 megapixel center stage selfie camera. If you're a vlogger or you take a ton of group shots, the 17 is just objectively better there. But for regular Instagram posts, the 16 is still solid. Now, Apple Intelligence. This was the big selling point, right? Honestly, for me, it's not a big deal yet. I know the A18 was built for it, but even in 2026, it still feels kinda early, like beta software. Half the time I just find myself using alternatives that are more powerful, like Gemini or ChatGPT. They just give me better answers. So if you're buying this phone just for Apple Intelligence, I'd say temper your expectations. It's cool, but it's not life-changing yet. So here is the conclusion. The iPhone 16 is a great phone. It's powerful, the 8GB RAM keeps it snappy, and it looks good, but I cannot recommend you buy this iPhone this year. I really recommend you go buy the iPhone 17 instead. The 17 is a huge upgrade. You finally get that ProMotion 120Hz display on the regular model. You get thinner bezels, which makes the screen look bigger, even though the phone isn't huge. You get double the base storage at 256GB, and the price didn't even increase. Unless you are on a super strict budget and you absolutely find a killer deal on a used 16, just save up for the 17. The gap between 60Hz and 120Hz alone is worth it for the long term. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents after living with the iPhone 16 in 2026. It's a humble beast, but it's time as the default recommendation is kinda over. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you're still rocking a 16 or if you upgraded. Catch you in the next one.